So gold has been everywhere in the news lately, and earlier this year it surged to record highs even though prices have pulled back a little bit since then. But it's still one of the best performing major assets over the past year. And naturally, more Singaporeans are asking, should I buy gold? But actually, I think that's the wrong question, because before deciding on how to buy gold or whether you should buy gold, you first need to understand why you want to own it. And once you get the answer, choosing between physical gold ETFs and digital gold becomes a lot easier. So in this video, let's talk about the role of gold and what it should play within your portfolio, how much of it should you own, and the 4 main ways Singaporeans can buy gold. So whenever people compare assets or investments, they almost always compare returns. So for gold, it's usually gold versus the S&P 500, or gold versus Bitcoin, or gold versus property. And if you take a step back, this is like comparing insurance to stocks. And we have to acknowledge that both gold and stocks are designed for completely different purposes. So personally, I do own some gold, but not because I think it will outperform every other asset or every other investment out there. But during the last crypto bull cycle, I sold some of my Bitcoin and bought gold instead.
Where'd all that come from?
The sky. It rained money.
And at that time, it felt like a really boring decision. Everybody was chasing higher returns while I was buying an asset that's been around for like 1,000 years. By that point, I wasn't trying to maximize my returns, I was trying to diversify my portfolio. And till today, I still buy gold every single year during the Chinese New Year or the Lunar New Year as a gift to my parents, and I continue to buy some as part of my own portfolio as well. At the end of the day, gold isn't there to make me rich, it is there to make my portfolio a little bit more resilient. And if you're buying gold because you think it will outperform stocks over the next 20 years, you are probably buying it for the wrong reason.
What else could go wrong?
So now that we understand why people own gold, the next question becomes, should you even own any at all? So if you think of your investment portfolio like a football team, you don't fill every position with strikers. You will definitely need different people in the team. You will need your defenders, your goalkeepers, and your midfielders. And this is to keep the team functional with the best possible outcome of winning games. So just like a portfolio, every asset has a different role to play. So stocks are like your growth engine. Cash gives you liquidity, bonds provide you with some stability, and gold within that portfolio acts as a hedge when uncertainty increases. And this is why many professional investors do not see gold as a competing investment, but they see it as a portfolio diversification, or in some cases, even as a form of insurance. So the next thing here to solve is, how much gold should I actually own? So unfortunately, there is no magic number, but what I would like to think about is like a framework. So if you own 0% of gold, it's like you saying you're comfortable relying entirely on financial assets, and that's perfectly fine. If you own maybe 5 to 10% of gold, you're adding some diversification without sacrificing too much long-term growth. And once you go above 20%, you're making a much stronger bet on the global economy and financial markets. And personally, I think for most retail investors like you and me, we don't really need huge allocations of gold. The way we should see it is, gold should support your portfolio and not become your portfolio. Now, there is 4 ways that you can purchase gold in Singapore. So you can purchase gold in the form of jewelry if you love wearing it, and that's perfectly fine. But gold jewelry as a hedge is usually the worst option, because you are paying for craftsmanship, you are paying for branding, and you're paying for retail markups. And more often than not, this jewelry is 916 gold, which means that the purity is 91.6% instead of 999.9 gold, which is deemed as investment grade. And chances are you end up paying almost the same price or more as compared to paying for a 999 gold bar after adding in the craftsmanships, the branding, the retail markup, and GST. So even after all that blabber, gold jewelry can be worn and can be brought out, unlike our next option, which is traditional gold. So the second way that you can buy gold is the traditional options, and it's purchasing gold coins, gold bars, and gold bullions. So the biggest advantage here is that you own the metal and there is no app, there is no counterparty risk, there is no brokerage account to set up, but the trade-off here is the storage and insurance. So with physical gold, the prices are very transparent. You can pay a spread above or below the spot price depending on buy and sell, and most people like this because they can feel the metal. And here's something many first-timer buyers don't realize. Generally speaking, across the board, the smaller the gold bar, the higher the spread, which means the cheapest looking gold bar you can buy from the shop might actually be the one that is the most expensive ways of starting to buy gold. But as you move on to larger bars, the spread usually become much tighter, and you can easily compare these yourself by looking at the buy and sell prices on UOB's website. So the spread is simply the difference between the buy price and the sell price expressed in a percentage form. So as a general rule, the tighter the spread, the less price of gold needs to move before you break even or make some money. But if you're worried about storing and insuring physical gold yourself, there are gold ETFs out there like GLS or GLU, which makes investing so much more simpler. You can buy and sell them through your brokerage account just like any other ETF, and the biggest advantage here is convenience. There is no need to store gold at home or arrange for insurance, and they are generally very liquid with very low ongoing costs. But the trade-off here is that you are buying units of an ETF, not a gold bar that you can keep or easily bring home. So for most retail investors, that's perfectly fine because they are simply looking for exposure to the price of gold rather than owning the physical bullion themselves. And the last category here is also probably the newest in the market, which is digital gold or tokenized gold. So instead of buying an entire gold bar, you can buy small amounts digitally, and the main benefit is a lower barrier to entry for people who want exposure to gold but cannot afford to purchase a 1 gram bar without paying high spreads. So this makes it easier for someone who wants to invest $50 to $100 every single month. So with digital gold, it's convenient, it's accessible, and increasingly integrated into different fintech ecosystems as well. But the important thing here is understanding who stores the gold, how is the digital gold backed, and what redemption options exist. Convenience might be great, but always understand who is holding that gold on your behalf. So now the biggest question that we have to kind of unwind is, which one should I choose? And the truth is there isn't a best answer out there because it varies from people to people, like personal finance. So for example, if I wanted something I could wear physically, I could pass on to my children one day, I would probably go with a physical gold bullion. However, if I'm already invested through a brokerage account and want an easier solution for gold exposure, gold ETF makes a lot of sense. And if I want to invest small amounts regularly, digital gold becomes really attractive. And the best way to own gold right now, it really depends on your goals that you have. So before you ask yourself what's the best way to buy gold, ask yourself instead, why do I want to own gold in the first place? Because once you answer that question, choosing between physical gold, gold ETF, or digital gold becomes a lot easier. So if you found this video helpful, let me know in the comments down below. Do you guys currently own gold? If you do, how are you guys buying it?